Hey everybody, it's Kennis Russell here. I wanted to show you my current pedal board, how I have it set up. I wanted to make a quick video of this because I'm going to probably be taking things apart and switching some things around. But want to just show you an overview of how I've got this set up because it might help you setting up your pedal board, possibly picking some pedals and also what order to put them in and that kind of thing. So here we go. First off, we're starting up right here with the, let's see, that's the Behringer Chromatic tuner, the TU300. Great little tuner for the money. I think I picked that up with a pack of Behringer pedals for like 53 bucks. I think it was 3 pedals, and it had a delay pedal and a distortion pedal, which I didn't like. The delay pedal is okay, but then the chromatic tuner, it's a great pedal. It's kind of like based off of the good old Boss TU2 chromatic tuner, which is also a great pedal. And I guess I could have put this on there before, but my bass player was using this for a while. So anyway, it's a great little pedal. Moving on from right there, that's where I go in first because you want to have a clean guitar signal in order to tune with. And also, if you want to, you can mute it. If you're on and then you hit this, your guitar mutes off, which is kind of nice. Next, we got going from there straight into this graphic EQ. This is a Joyo 6-band equalizer, which is a Chinese-made brand, and for the money, they're absolutely great pedals. Matter of fact, I've sold a couple of those pedals, and they're great. I highly recommend them. I haven't run across one that I just absolutely don't like, and I've got a few Joyo pedals on here. Guys, you can get great tone without spending a ton of money. Matter of fact, I've got some higher-end pedals that I'd like to do a review someday of like a cheap pedal board versus a high-end, more boutique-ish pedal board. Anyway, all right, so going straight from the 6-band equalizer over to the compressor. What the compressor does is it kind of squashes your signal. In other words, it makes your louds not as loud. And this is great when you're going from like strumming the guitar to playing lead. I'll give you just an example here. This is my guitar just strumming, and then if I had to play a lead line, that's a lot louder, the strumming part is. But if I had the compressor kicked on, my strumming and my lead is going to be the same volume. And it just kind of balances out your signal so you're not you don't have to run your volume that much, and honestly, it just creates a lot cleaner of a tone, in my opinion. It's just balanced. It makes you sound better. I mean, it's amazing. Just a little. For a long time, I didn't run a compressor, and I didn't really understand what the big deal was until I got one, and then I'm never going to go back. Okay, straight from there, we're going into this Joyo vintage Overdrive, and it's kind of like a tube screamer. It's based off of the TS808 Ibanez guitar pedal, and it's very similar to this pedal right here, the Ibanez TS9 tube screamer. And I'm going to do a review, hopefully someday, where I compare these two back to back. But a tube screamer basically is a distortion pedal, but it's not like really gritty distortion. It's a little bit more subdued. And so if I were to kick this on here, this is how I have it set right now. And it gets really good lead tones to me. But you can also pull the drive down a lot on this, to where it's not really that gritty at all. Or if you crank up the drive, you're going to get a lot more grittiness to it. Anyway, so that's that. And it's a great little pedal. They run about 40, 50 bucks. Find them on Amazon and eBay. Right next to it, it's kind of the big brother in the Joyo line. This is the Joyo Ultimate Drive. This is a great pedal for the money. This is based off of the OCD pedal, and it's a good pedal. Runs about the same cost as the Overdrive, but this one gives you, it's going to give you a little bit more of a little bit more bite to it. We've got, you can get a lot of those really kind of crunchy tones. And I don't really run those that much, but you can also tone down the gain a lot and kind of get a overdrive sound instead of a distortion. And honestly, if I was running this alone, that's how I would run it. It would be like gain all the way down, because I'm not really into the, you know, like super distorted stuff. But this guy will do it. I mean, and it's got a switch on here for high and low. Decent little pedal. What I usually use it for is a boost for this. So if you know, if there really needs to be, I don't know, that if this isn't cutting through the band, you know, so if there's a lick line played and you want just a little bit more like sharpness to it, I'll put this on. All right, and then this is a roll boost. They're about the same price range as these. It might be a little bit more expensive, maybe $50 for these guys. A boost basically just boosts your gain. You know, everything I'm running, by the way, I'm running through a Fender Bassman 20, which is an 18-inch bass amp made in 1982. They only made 500 of them. It's a tube amp, and I like running pedals in front of tube amps. If you're running pedals in front of a solid state amp, to me it doesn't get, I don't know, it just doesn't sound quite as good. I like that tube sound. If you're running in front of a solid state amp, I would recommend getting like a Boss ME50 or something like that has, it's like a multi-effects processor. To me, those sound better with those, but these sound really good running in front of the a tube amp. Anyway, what this does is a tube amp, as you're playing a tube amp, the tubes actually start to break up and distort the louder you get. So this could be used for that. So if you just have like a normal clean tone and you hit this on there, it's going to boost the signal and make it distort a little bit. It just kind of gives you a little bit of distortion from the amplifier, not from a pedal. And but generally what I usually use it for is on top of this guy. And this just kind of cuts through a little bit more, because if somebody's singing and there's a lead line playing, then I'll just kind of have this on. But if it's like a solo guitar part, kick this on, and it's just going to boost your signal a little bit more. So you've got, you know, you kick that on there. I just have it set where it gives you a little bit more. I mean, you can boost it up. All right, so that's the roll boost. Going right into there is a noise gate, and man, these guys are awesome. This one is pretty inexpensive. It's pretty cheap for the money, but you know, a lot of time I'm gonna turn it off real quick. I don't know if you can hear that noise that's happening right there. That's taking care of all of that. I mean, this would be a very dirty, noisy pedal board if it wasn't for that. I mean, I would have to basically constantly be having my volume pedal down, or my guitar. Let me see if that'll even. It doesn't even work with my guitar volume turned down. So I would just basically have to always constantly be pulling this off if I wasn't playing a song, and I mean, that's just awesome how quiet it makes it right off the bat. This guy, for whatever reason, I've always had to like really crank it up in order to get it to work, but I don't really care. As long as it's working, I don't care if the volume's or the knob's all the way up in order for it to work. It cuts the noise out for me. So there's your Joyo noise gate. And going from right there, I've got the this Boss Super Chorus, which was actually my first pedal I ever owned. And back in, man, I don't know, 1992 or something like that. And not this one. I lost that one somewhere when I was in college and have since replaced it. This is actually my brother-in-law's pedal here. This is a great little chorus pedal. I highly recommend this guy. But a chorus, for those of you that don't know what a chorus pedal does, basically it kind of duplicates two guitars playing at the same time. You know, if you had two guitars strumming the exact same thing, you know, guitars are slightly out of tune from each other, and it kind of creates a little bit of some depth to what's happening. So I mean, if I turn this up, I'm going to turn the rate and depth up a little bit, and play something. You can hear it like. That sounds like two guitars playing. I never keep it that much. That just sounds too out of tune for me. But what I will do is lower the rate a little bit, like this. And you may not be able to hear too much of a difference there. Especially when you're playing clean. I mean, you almost can't, like if I were to just hear this, I would not be able to hear the actual chorus happening. But when you compare it back to back, I really hear it. Anyway, great pedal. You don't have to, this is like $100. You don't have to spend that much money on that. A tremolo has some really cool things you can do with it. Basically, it emulates, you know, you taking your volume of your guitar and doing that with it. So, you know, you can, if you turn the intensity all the way up, it would turn your... Anyway, it sounds kind of cool. That's real high intensity, and if you back it off a little bit, it kind of does similar things. This pedal, this is a Joyo Tremolo, and I've got a boutique pedal that I built that I also like. But this has this flashes with the rate of what it is. Someday I'd really love to get a tremolo pedal that works with the tap tempo, where you could tap the exact rate, but until then, I'm going to just have to exactly fine tune where I want the tempo to be in a song, and then go from there. But anyway, this does the rate here, but you can't really hear it that much there. I'm going to turn this off, the delay. Anyway, give you a little bit of sound of that. This actually has a little bit of a volume boost to it, which I don't like. I like my pedals to be pretty balanced out, whether they're on or off. From the tremolo into this, and I'll explain why in a second. This is a volume pedal. This is just the Ernie Ball volume pedal. This is kind of a standard deal. It's a good pedal. It seems to work really well for me. This was actually my brother-in-law's pedal also, and he let me have it, or let me use it permanently. And the only thing is with this, when I got it, there's a string in there. I'm not going to, well, I can show you a little bit. There's a string in here that, I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me go over here. And that's how this is turned up and down, is that string pulls like a potentiometer, a volume, basically, volume knob. And that string was coming real loose. And so like I turned it up and it was just kind of slipping. And anyway, I had to take it apart and fix it, which was, I'm pretty good with mechanical stuff, and yeah, if you're not going to have a good time with it, because it was pretty hard for me to do. Anyway, great volume pedal, not the only one you need. There's plenty of them out there that are just as good, as long as they don't add tone, they're not sucking your tone. In other words, like a lot of times on the back of this, it has a tuner out option, and what you can do with that is you can actually plug a tuner. You can plug a tuner into here, and then that way you can tune it with this. You can turn the volume down and then tune. I don't really see the point in that, because if you're wanting to mute and tune, just mute your tuner. You know, your tuner mutes when you turn it on, or you can set it that way. Anyway, moving right along. Sorry, too much. It's about $100. You can find them all over the place. Great little guys. But moving on to the Boss Giga Delay DD20. A delay pedal is awesome. If you do not have a delay pedal, you need to get a delay pedal, because it adds so much to your tone. I mean, it's really unbelievable just how much a little bit of how much depth a delay pedal will get. This one, what a delay does is basically, you play something and it's going to repeat. And so this one, if you turn the feedback, it's going to be the number of repeats. If I head it up a lot, it's going to repeat for a lot. I usually keep it just kind of like this, maybe 7 delays, I think. 6, 7, yeah, about 7 is what I kind of, I think I heard The Edge from U2 saying something about that. It was one of his songs, he did that, and it sounded good to me. So 7, I guess, is kind of the standard delay on that. And I'll do a separate review of the Boss Giga Delay, because there's just so much into it. But one thing that's really good with a higher end pedal is one that has a tap tempo function that you can run a tap tempo to it. And what this does, I actually built this myself, and I've sold some of them on eBay because they're really awesome. But Boss makes one. It's called an SF5 I think. And every pro player that I've talked to, they always say there's breaks, and they just sometimes they'll even buy 2 of them because they know their FS5U is going to break. Anyway, so I built this. This is rated for like 1 million taps or something like that before it goes bad. Anyway, but whatever you tap this at, it's going to set the delay time for that amount. So if I'm going like 1, 2, 3, 4, and actually I have this set at a dotted 8th note. That's another cool thing you can do. Instead of it just being like a dot, 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 or dot, 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 this one goes like dot, 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 dot. So if I was doing like, let's see, this is with it off. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, boom. With it off, same thing. So, I mean, it adds a lot of just texture to what you're playing. As opposed to... I mean, anyway, I really like having a delay pedal. It always really fattens up my sound. Another cool thing you can do with a volume pedal and a delay pedal, and this is where kind of let's see, 2, 3. This is where it's kind of really cool, is you can do what's called swells with it. Since this is on the table and not my foot, it's going to be kind of hard to do. But if I did like played a chord and then pulled it down, I could play my next chord. So if I went like... And since the volume pedal is in front of the delay is going to keep on trailing off after I turn the volume off. So, I mean, you can create some really cool sounds with that happening. Just the... Anyway, hope this helps. Oh, one more thing. Powering all these pedals here is also a Joyo, which is right back here. I don't know if you guys can be able to see this or not. This is they're a power supply too. And this is my awesome homemade pedal board here. And when I take all these pedals off, I'll make a video where I show how I made this for like next to nothing. And I just was not prepared to spend $150, $200 on a pedal board that did what I wanted it to do. So I just made my own. But anyway, there is the Joyo Power Supply 2 upside down. It runs up to 8 pedals. Actually, you can run up to 10 pedals because if you have a 12 volt and 18 volt pedal, it'll run those as well. It's a great value for the money. You can also do, before this, I had, I think, a one-stop powered little daisy chain pedal board thing. But anyway, I hope this video was helpful to some of you guys out there trying to put your rigs together. Let me just say this. There's a lot of, man, it's like a group think type thing. If you get on forums and you talk about certain pedals or certain things, there's like this, I don't know, there are guys that I seriously feel like they spend more time talking about gear on websites than they actually do playing the gear, because there are some great pedals that I found that are dirt cheap that do a fantastic job. And don't be one of those like pedal snob guys that has to have a boutique amp, has to have, I mean, sometimes, you know, you got to pay a lot of money. This thing is a couple $100. Great pedal, but not for everybody. It's an expensive pedal. It can run $200 or more. And anyway, don't be one of those snobs that that feels like they have to have like a super expensive rig. And I'm going to make a video where I take some high-end stuff like this Boss DD20 and match it up next to, you know, a Behringer or a Joyo pedal and just see the different tones. Or, you know, this guy right here, which is going to run you $90, $100. This one's been through the ringer a bunch. But, you know, $100 compared to this, which one do you need? I mean, are you a pro player? Are you playing every single weekend somewhere that you need that? Or, man, you know, could you spend $500 putting together a killer pedal board like this? Or do you need to spend $1,500 or $2,000 or shoot? The limit is endless. Anyway, hopefully this is helpful to you. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. If I don't, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to answer them as much as possible. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, if you want to see more content like this, I'm going to start doing these, I'm calling tabletop reviews more often. And so this is my first kind of tabletop pedal board review of my stuff. But like, comment, and subscribe. We got a lot more coming. Thank you guys so much.